What's going on with you?
Yo, another day in the lab, baby. So it's always a good day.
Oh,
it's always a good day when we in the lab. You want policing to be better in your communities? The best policing that you can that can happen in any community are people that's actually from the community. And that
Once again, Rick, host BNY podcast, now known as What Effing Week with BNY Dev. How you feeling, man?
I'm in here.
What's good? Comment section.
Yeah.
Do we drag our people down when sometimes they don't deserve it? For sure, absolutely. In this situation, this man deserves every single dragging that we can do because this is not an example of us.
But you got the angles. You got the knowledge of the game, bro.
This is where you're getting at, the IQ.
Down. Like he's telling you what's going on. He was a bad husband. He was just doing things his way. He's apologizing to his wife like, yo.
Pat ourselves on the back for that one because if you ain't give yourself awards, I mean, who is?
Yeah, no boy.
Hey. Oh, mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. If you can hear me, let me know. Let me know. BNY is live back again. 1 of 2 for the week. Thank you, Bonaparte. Appreciate you. As always, go ahead and bring us in. We live, baby. Robin, how you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. We're sitting here talking, just chilling, see the comments popping. Thank you, Angela. And no, we pushed the podcast back about 15 minutes, so we weren't technically we weren't late. But if you want to hold us to it, then I ain't gonna stop you. But enough about me. Robin, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Round of applause for you. Thank you for finally making your way over here. Thank you for your flexibility with the schedule too, as well.
I was busy earlier out working, trying to get out there, still meet the people. I was out canvassing, then I had to go put my signs out at the polling places.
Oh, that's right. After 5 o'clock today, you can put signs out.
Yep. So I still didn't make 2 places. I got a friend, somebody said they would help me, so she's going to put them out. And go by and see if I need to put out some more. And that's about it. So, I'm ready. Ready for tomorrow.
What's going on, Left Witch? Angela, I know. You're good. You're good in my book. Where'd you go canvassing at?
What is the name of those neighborhoods? Right next to White Plains Park. It's a neighborhood, so the 55 and over is across the street, and it's right next to White Plains Park, though.
Well, they voting.
Yeah. Yes, they are. And it's been pretty positive. I mean, every time I go canvassing, I try to knock doors and wait for people to come to the door. And, I talk to them, let them know about me, and, they'll tell me that I got their vote. I'm the only one knocking on the door, they said. So,
so
that's it. So I got their vote, and I'm happy about that. It looks positive.
That's good. Originally, we were supposed to do this podcast yesterday.
Yes.
But thank you for your, like I said, once again, thank you for your flexibility with it. Yeah. How was your weekend?
Good. What did I do Saturday? I think, I went canvassing, me and Nicole. We went canvassing on Saturday. I think we went out Sunday, too. I can't remember. We always canvassing. So, and then Monday, we went, who had an event? Ruben Collins and his wife, they had an event over at Red Tail, so we went over there.
Yeah, I was going to go that day too as well, but I completely forgot that my son had a camp to go to in D.C., so or I would have been there.
Yeah, and then we went over to the stadium and saw the fireworks and then talked to a couple of people there.
Yeah, you were there with Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't get out of there until about almost 11.
Yeah, sounds like you and Nicole always out working, canvassing together.
Girl.
Yeah.
Since I met her, because, like-minded people, we just out here trying to run our campaign, trying to get people to know us, That's it. So, she's become a good friend.
That's good. And also a friend of the podcast, too, as well.
Yeah,
so.
I know. She was letting me know. I talked to her before I walked in.
Yeah, that's how you knew to come right back over here.
Yep.
Because I came inside the house, and then my wife Jenny was like, oh, they're already in the back. I'm like, oh, they must have.
Yep, like, she told me.
Yeah, that's all Nicole right there. So,
Nicole told me. Yeah. So
let's go through this comment section real quick. Okay. Let's see. Is there a delay or just me? A delay in what exactly? Video, voice? Let me know. Let me know, please. Amber, what's going on? How you doing today? Let's see. Angela, talk to you. Donald Poole Jr., what's going on? my man Donald. Mank, what's going on with you tonight too as well? Let's see what else. Pascal, how you doing? Pascal, you're supposed to remind me of something too as well. It's all caught up now. Thank you, Joseph Mank. I appreciate it.
Hey, Leftwich.
Yeah, I'll wait till Pascal drops it in the chat, then I'll go ahead and talk to more about it. So let's start at the top. So elect Robin Rutledge.
Yes.
Who is Robin Rutledge?
A married mother of 4, and I got 6 grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just taking care of family, doing what I do, going to work. You know, nice friend to all the people I know. You know, always trying to be supportive. You know, like I said, just go to work and try to do the best I can.
And you have a history in the courthouse too, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk on that. Start from the top. What we got? Well, real quick, Ashley, what's going on with you too, as well? They didn't want to leave you out there.
Oh, okay. Hi, Ashley. Okay, so I worked 2 years at Prince George's County District Court Clerk's office in their new case department. So, and they, you know, District Court, they process cases under $30,000. And I went to, that was in 2012 to 2014.
So you worked as a clerk before?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I came to Charles County in 2014, and I was a clerk there in the civil department. And then I was promoted 2 years ago to lead civil clerk. So I'm an assistant supervisor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start at the top. Leftwich. We're good. Everything's cool over here. We're good. We're good.
Leave
We're
me
good.
alone. I met him on Monday for the first time.
I saw that too as
you
well.
saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I met him there.
Good to see Mr. Leftwich out and about too as well.
Yeah, it was so cool to meet him.
So let's start at the top. You said you work as a clerk before. So talk to me a little bit more about that. What exactly did you do? And if you want to define the role of a clerk as well.
In our position, we're not the actual clerk. We're not Sherry Hancock. She's in charge of the entire building.
Okay.
Well, in the entire clerk's office. We just process the paperwork. So when people come to the counter, we take their paperwork. I process divorces, custody. Why you coming there to follow?
No. I don't want no problems.
Yeah, foreclosures, domestic violence.
Oh my God.
Yeah, motor torts. You know, civil is a lot of cases. It's many of them. I can't even probably.
Let's take it back to the first 3. You said divorces. You said foreclosures. And what was the other one too? With domestic violence. So you've seen probably some people in there acting the fool, walking up in that clerk's office,
arguing out in the lobby. We have to call the sheriffs up. You know, people just do crazy stuff.
Oh my God.
I see a lot, and you know, you hear a lot. People always, you know, people just want to talk. So a lot of time we get people on the phone. They just half the time maybe older, maybe they tell you their life story, or just, you know, then they're like, oh, you know, I know I done wasted all your time. You know, I'm gonna let you get back to work. So you know, we talk to a lot of people every day. So we see in clerk's office where we are. So like I said, it's civil, family, and then criminal and juvenile. The civil department and the family department sees the most people on a daily basis, and on the phone, and I saw at the counter.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna get some of these questions here too in a second, but I wanna keep it with the PG part.
Pascal said she need help with the phones.
Pascal, I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read that here when I do a little pause. But
Thank you.
So back to your PG time too as well. So you did that for 2 years.
2 years.
Is there anything else? We already mentioned the top 3. Is there anything else entailing the clerk job that came along with it besides paperwork?
In district court, no, no, just because they separate their sections. So just like so, then in district court there they have like the processing the cases. Then they'll have the assignment section where they do the set the hearing dates, and then they have the after when stuff comes out of the courtroom where you process the stuff from the courtroom clerks. So everything was separate. So, and I basically only worked in processing new cases. So that's basically all I did. And then when I say it was a lot a day, you could process about almost 100. They only required you to do about 50, but I always do more. I'm just not a person that's just going to sit there and do what they require and then just sit there and do nothing all the rest of the day. So
Was it like a quota you have to reach?
Yeah, they at least wanted you to do about 50 a day, but I could do 50 and be done with it in a couple hours, so I would just keep going. So,
there you go. Okay, numbers.
Yeah.
Got stats up.
So, yeah, that's it.
LeBron in the NBA Finals. Love to see it. Okay. We'll get to some of these questions here too as well. That we'll keep going through this. So, actually, Latrice, I want to get to that in a second. I want to keep building this up. So, what made you? So you left PG. What made you come to Charles County? How did that go about?
I live in Charles County. So I wanted to be closer to home instead of taking that drive.
How long you live in Charles County for?
20 years. 20 years.
20 years, okay.
Years. Yep. We originally from New Jersey, so we came here in 1998, and we lived in Baltimore County for about 4 years. And then when my husband became a police officer, we had to move, so we moved to Charles County. And my kids' teachers down in Baltimore County were like, "Oh, go to Charles County. The schools are great," So we drove up here one day and happened to be sitting in the Burger King over there in Smallwood, and a real estate agent, and a real estate agent happened to be in there, and we just started talking to her, and then she took us around to see homes, and then we bought our house probably a couple of months later, I believe, about 2-3 months later.
And been here ever since.
Been here ever since. Yeah.
What drew you to the courthouse?
After I stopped working for the federal government in that student position, I was unemployed for 7 months, and then I just saw they were hiring, and then I just went and applied. And now look at you running the campaign. So I went and applied. Yep.
Okay, so you start working at Charles County, the circuit court. All right. So what was your role there? Starting off with
basically the same thing, processing cases and doing the mail. That's how they started off everybody when you came in. You processed the mail. And then they slowly moved you up to doing other things like processing certain casework. But it's always been the same. So then they moved you up to probably doing domestic violence. They taught you different things at different times. So once you caught on to doing one thing, then you moved on to something else. Okay,
now we're at a good point. Pascal, I'm coming back to you. I'm going to plug that in still as well. So Latrice, what is your experience in the Charles County Courthouse? How long you been there? What have some things have you learned too as well along the way?
Like I said, I've been there for 8 years, and I was promoted to lead civil clerk 2 years ago. So
congratulations.
Thank you. And like I said, I process domestic violence, divorce, custody, motor torts. I mean, there's so many cases, name changes. There's so many different cases under civil, so it's like difficult trying to name all of them, but it's a lot, and that's what we do on a daily basis. And I also process the casework once it comes out the courtroom, which they call them hearing sheets. So once the courtroom clerk's processed, if there's judgments, we have to process judgments, state and federal liens. So when people owe state taxes, they put a lien, we have to file those. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Did you worked under Sherry too as well?
She's our boss. She's the boss for the entire clerk's office.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there you go, Latrice. That's your 2 questions right there. So talk to me more about the work you do. So myself, I'm walking in the courthouse. What can I expect if Robin Rutledge is elected clerk? How smooth is the process? Am I there all day?
Well, people aren't there all day now. I mean, it might take a minute to get something done, but that's the reason. Well, I guess we could go into that's why I want to actually make sure clerks are cross-trained, that they know everything, so that way when people come to the clerk's office, that they're able to get assistance no matter if that main clerk is not available. So you want everybody to be knowledgeable, know everything, so that they can help anybody on a daily basis.
Okay, so talk to me about all right, so we're getting to a little bit of your platform too as well. I'm just going to catch up with these comments before we get to that part too as well. Okay. All right, Tawny, what's going on with you today? I believe I said that name right.
Who's Tawny? Oh, Tawny.
What is your knowledge
Tawny.
level?
She used to. Tawny know that.
Yeah, what is your knowledge level?
Work with me.
Oh yeah.
The clerk's office, yeah.
All right, she got a question for you. What is your knowledge level of the other departments besides civil?
I don't process criminal, and then there's juvenile, and juvenile does SENA, which is Children in Need of Assistance. They work with the Department of Social Services and like doing adoptions when they have kids that are in assistance. Criminal I don't do. No, they work directly with the state's attorney's office, and people usually have an attorney or a public defender. And jury, of course, I don't do. Courtroom clerks, like I said, I work with them as far as what comes out of the courtroom, and I know about land and license and all of them. But the type of personality I have, that if I'm elected, I want to know and work with all the supervisors to know what each department does. I'm gonna know what I expect my clerks to know. I want to know that same thing.
Okay, and right now Sherry does that's the title's a clerk job. That's everything that she's doing at courthouse is what you mentioned, dealing with all those the criminal, the civil, and everything other too as well.
So Sherry, she's been working at the courthouse since you can tell me about 42 years. So
wow.
I mean, but she's been a clerk for about 16 years. The clerk of the court for 16 years. So she actually hasn't processed it. She doesn't actually do what we do anymore. And then since we've gone electronic, so she hasn't done that then either. So
okay, so we got a couple comments. We're gonna stick to this too as well. Laura, what's going on with you? What do you think the courts do well, and what would you like to improve?
I think our customer service is great. I mean, we do a good job, but I mean, there's always room for improvement. You can't say that everything is just great the way it is. That in order to grow, you got to change things and have be improvements. So basically, like I said, it's about customer service. So basically, cross training. Like I said, making sure that there's always someone there to assist you. So if you come in the clerk's office right now, there's one clerk that probably does adoptions and someone else. So if someone comes there, I can't help them because I don't do it. So, I mean, you want to make sure that everybody knows everything. So it's not good customer service to have to tell people to come back tomorrow or next week.
Okay, so you mentioned customer service. I know that's something that some of the candidates have mentioned as a failure of the courthouse, but you think that you're saying that it's fine the way it is.
No, I don't say it's a failure. Like I said, everything needs to be improved. So, I mean, we come to work, we learn our job, but it's not a failure. But like I said, there's always room for improvement. So you can't say it's perfect because nothing's perfect. Like I said, it's a cross training, leadership training. I feel like not just say clerks need to go to training, but actually go. Got to be successful. You got to go to training. You have to continuously learn.
There's a question here. I'm gonna get back to that, Melissa. I'm gonna keep walking through that, but I think that's a fair question.
What?
All right. So you talk about electronic. So were you there for the paper process, and
Yes.
now it's fully electronic.
Yes.
All right. So talk to me about that process. What was your role in that?
They don't consider us when they go electronic. They don't talk to the people in the lower totem pole. So it was just basically they came in, they took us to Annapolis. We went to trainings and they came to us. They told us how the system was going to work and what we were going to do and how to process the cases using the system. And they changed the whole office around because they had to, go through the putting down all the wiring and stuff like that they did. But to me, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I like it. It's better than having a bunch of paper because when they have paper, you can't find the files. Sometimes you're looking for them. They might be you think it's in the judge's chambers. You might think it's in magistrate's chambers. You can't find them. They're all over the place. So being electronic kind of makes it easier because it's all in one place. So, but it was cool.
Okay, and it's working pretty efficiently in the courthouse now. There's no real issues with it, or is anything like to see improved with it? Because essentially, when people come to the courthouse, they would know, I'm here. How fast can I get out?
Well, the only people that are required to file electronically are attorneys. So people that come in the courthouse, they don't have to file electronically. So they're usually people that's not represented by an attorney. So they can come in and still file paper. But we still scan it into the system. So it's still put in electronically.
So the people coming in still filing paper?
Yes.
You think they'd rather file electronic?
They can if they want to, but they have to register for it. And then once they do it, they have to continuously file electronic. They can't go back to filing paper. And then depending on the document that you file, you pay a service fee.
What kind of document?
So if you file modification of custody, if you file new cases for divorce or whatever, there's a fee for using the system. So to filing those paperwork.
How much?
Oh, I don't know. It's like depends on the filing. So like if an attorney files an attorney appearance, it's $10. It's 35 cents. So it depends on what you file. So then if you file a divorce, it's usually like $165, then it's $10 for an attorney fee, and it comes out to like $181. So it's what's that, about $6 or something. So it depends on what you're filing. So they have to pay extra money. So one time I told a young lady that, and she's like, okay, I'll just bring it there. So people don't want to give up extra money sometimes. So yeah.
But me walking in, I don't have to.
You don't have to pay that extra fee. You just pay the $165 because if you're filing on your own, don't have an attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pay $165.
I'm gonna get back to some of the filing stuff too as well. There's a question above. Who was it? Was it Leftwich? I'm not scrolling all the way back up there. But as far as jury duty, how many times can you be called back for it?
Jury duty. I don't work in the jury department, but I have never even been called for jury duty, and I've been living here for 20 years. So people can get out of it. And I think if you have medical issues, you can fill out the paperwork and not have to serve. So there's certain issues where they tell you don't have to serve. But I know some people I know have been called multiple times. But it's like no set time. I think they told me it goes by, your license and how, that's how they pick people or something. But, yeah, I don't know how many times you can be called, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been here I was also in the military, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah,
but
I think you could get out in the military.
Yeah, that's not. That doesn't really count.
Yeah,
I'm only been fresh out for a few months, so. I'm gonna scroll back up. I'm sorry, at the bottom. Angela, are there CE hours required for clerks or any special certifications?
No, just a high school diploma.
That's it.
That's it.
Like most government government
high
jobs
school
around
diploma. You can have a degree. You're not getting any additional money for it. It's just a high school diploma.
here. So Pascal's a good question here too as well. Any clerks that speak Spanish? Are there any documents in different languages?
Yes, ma'am. We have 2 Spanish-speaking clerks in our department, in the civil department. And our forms are in Spanish. You can go to mdcourse.gov, and the forms are in Spanish.
Okay. Hey, let's keep it firing. Keep it rapid. Sonny, what statutes relate to the clerk's duties?
We have to follow the rules of the Maryland state laws, and then we also have to follow the rules set by the Lord, I just lost my train of thought. By the Court of Special Appeals. So that's what you have to follow.
What is that?
Rules.
Just a quick summary of what they state to as well
what
for
they
the public.
state. Oh, it's so. Yeah, I'd have to, when I become clerk, because she just told me we have to know Maryland, because I've asked this question to Sherry, that she said you just have to know the Maryland rules. Like, as clerks, we don't have to know the rules, because we're not attorneys, we don't give advice, we don't do any of that. So we don't have to know. Any people will call in and say, oh, rule this, and then like, sir, as clerks, we're not required to know the rules or the laws. If they say something about it, we have a system called Lexis. We're able to go and look it up and see what they said, what that rule says. But as a clerk, we're not required to know the rules. And state rules and Maryland statutes, no.
Really?
No. Because we're not attorneys. We don't have to know any of that. So, because it's just an administrative office. All we do is file your paperwork.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll be able to, at the same time, you'll be able to point me in the right direction of those questions that I would have as far as that.
Yes.
If I did.
Yep.
Okay. What would you change right now in the clerk's office? Comment from Latrice. I'm scrolling back up, people.
Latrice, what would I change?
Yeah, you're elected. You've been there for a while now. You've been taking a look at things.
Basically, like I said, because like I said, I've been working since I was 14. So everything I've done has been always customer service based. So it's always about how to improve it for the customers we serve. So basically, like I said, cross training and making sure that, people go to training. And also, like I said, as far as the system, we want to be able to form partnerships with local state agencies so we can expand our use of the computer system. So right now.
Well, hold on a second. I don't want to lose train of thought here. Let's break that down like ounce of glue. So we mentioned cross training. You mentioned that several times now. Let's get to it. So, is there a lack of cross? Leftwich, same question he's asked here too. Is there a lack of cross training right now as far as the courthourhouse?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
If you go to other courts, like, everybody knows everything. So it's like a mix. People know criminal. People know all of it. So we're not like that. So you got your separate criminal, your separate juvenile, and then you got civil, and then you've got family. So I know family because like my supervisor is the supervisor of both sections. So and I'll take notes of some of the things that I don't do on a daily, like doing warrants and things of that nature. But no, I don't know criminal or things. So I feel like we all should know at some point. It may not happen tomorrow, but at some point there should be some type of deadline where everybody is be able to help on every situation, not just certain things.
How would you go about that? Would you have like a plan to get these people cross-trained time?
Yeah, you got
time off throughout the week to take classes, or what would you?
Well,
what would you do?
If you need class, because me being the assistant supervisor, we train. So and right now, I kind of think. So basically, I feel like when people come, when I used to work at the bank, and me and my supervisor talking about that because we both worked at the bank together. We were, this is our second job.
We're at PG together too as well.
No. So when I started working at the bank, we went to an employee orientation, and then we went to a training. So we went to DC. They had it for like a week, and it was like almost like a college or whatever they wanted to call it, And they taught us how to use the system and do everything before we came to the banking center. And I kind of feel like that's the way it should be with the courthouse. We shouldn't have to try to train people in the middle of doing our work. So they should be able to go. Well, somebody else saying something?
Nah, go ahead.
They should be able to have training done before they come to the courthouse. It should already be done, So that's what I kind of believe should be done. Yeah, they should be. So that way when they come there, we're just telling them like the standard operating procedures on what we do for certain things. Like they already know how to work the system. So that's not how it's working.
So part of orientation of new employees, you would have them learn all facets.
Learn the system, yes. So the system, yes. And then when they came to us, then we would tell them our standing operating procedures and how we do certain things. But at least they would know how to work every part of the system. But now they don't.
Okay. I'm catching back up to the comments. Sherry, what's going on? You said that's not true. Which part? I'm scrolling back down. I want to make sure we catch up to as well. We'll keep going. Let me scroll way down. August, what's going on? All right, let me read some of these comments. Sherry, not true. All clerks around the state would take the responsibility of the clerk being familiar with the court's article, court and judicial procedure, criminal procedures, civilian procedures, and much, much more. No?
What civilian procedures? What is she speaking about?
Hey, this is beyond my realm of
Sherry.
understanding.
Oh, that's Sherry.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't know what civilian procedures she's talking about because so don't know because if that's the case, then she didn't train us on it. So what I don't know if she can give a specific because I don't know what she's speaking about.
Sherry, I'm gonna let you answer that one too as well. Zach Ball, what's going on with you? What a week and it's only Wednesday. Well, we got a podcast tomorrow too as well. All right, I'll let Sherry answer that one because I want to. We'll talk about that one. Angela, what do you think having the silos for departments leaves less room for errors? I mean, legal filings are important. What do you think? What do you think that having silos for departments leaves less room for errors?
Would you think that having silos for departments?
Oh, and the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Just want to capture your audio.
That having silos for departments leaves less room for errors. I mean, legal filings are important. Legal filings are important. I mean, less room. I mean, I don't know. I know what type of person I am when it comes to doing my work. I'm very concerned about errors and making sure everything is perfect. I guess kind of got a little OCD with myself. So, I mean, I guess it would help.
No, we'll keep it moving. I'm not going to have that dominate the podcast. We'll keep going from there. There's somewhere I want to take this to, but I want to keep going with this. Listening with Sherry too as well because I want to get this. I want to get this cleaned up.
Asked her who was she endorsing.
We'll get to that. That's all going to loop in. Okay. All right. So here's your words right here. So you said cross training is needed, but there's a benefit to keeping the other departments separate. Is that exactly what you said?
You say it's a benefit to keep them separate.
As far as clarity to your words from Angela.
You said cross training is needed, but is there a benefit to keeping them departments separate? I don't think it's a benefit. Like I said, because one day I worked by myself because people in the department were out sick or whatever, so I was there alone. So if some other people knew other things, they probably could have assisted. So, and it would be beneficial if everybody was cross-trained.
Have you ever had to cover for a different department? We said there's no cross-training, so
no,
I guess that wouldn't be a thing.
They were at work. I mean, in my section, people weren't there that day. They were out sick and things were happening, so I was there by myself. And so people in the family department, they helped answer the phones, but when it comes to doing the work, they couldn't do that work because they don't do guardianships. They don't do the name changes. They don't, so it was me doing it.
Talk to me more about your platform. All right, so day one, you walk in the clerk's office. What are your ideas to make changes, or are you just looking to continue things as are? What is your goal for your election? Why are you running?
Like I said, being in there, I mean, I see things that I believe could be changed.
Such as?
And like I said, my whole thing is about just the customer service issues and things that I see. So it's just that going in there, like Sherry said, it would be a smooth transition, showing people, I guess she just told me she does a lot of emails and responding to people and basically having to follow the Maryland rules and things of that nature. So learning that aspect of it from her. And then I said basically just trying to focus on improving the customer service and having people in place, like it's trying to make sure that we are going to training and not just saying on people's reviews, we want them to go to training, and they're actually going, like I said, and actually being able to go to leadership training and learning how to deal with angry customers, being able to do all of that. I mean, like I said, you can't excel if you're not continuously going to training. You're working for the federal government. They always going to a training class. So
I'm not saying anything about that. Yeah, trying to keep my job.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I've done
No,
it.
you're
So
good.
I'm saying you're always going to training. So I mean, it's continuous.
Do you feel like there's not enough training going on right now in the courthouse?
We don't go. I don't go to training. Ever since I was made a lead worker, I haven't gone to any training.
Is that by choice or is that just by what's offered?
I don't think no, I would love to go. I never heard anybody say. I've seen online when we get emails, I see a lot of Word, Excel, come to classes like that. But I don't need to go to Word class or Excel or things of that nature, because I don't do it in my job. So it's no point in me to go to take Word or Excel. So.
Okay, so I don't want to put words in your mouth. That's not something I want to do here. But you want to bring more training to the courthouse, and you feel like there's not enough of it for individuals to, if need be, work in different departments.
Yes.
Okay. Now you mentioned customer service a couple times too as well. I know we mentioned that several times, but I really want to dive in. So me walking to the courthouse, what can I expect as far as a customer service aspect? I know it's one part of your platform too as well.
We have a gentleman that basically works the counter, Nick. He's a good guy. He's helps everybody out. Everybody likes him. He's very helpful. And so, he's a good guy coming up to the county. Everybody says he's respectful. He does all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, we have like a lot of young people working with us or whatever. So, it might be their first job. You never know. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
But people have to be receptive to training too. So, you can't just go, but you got to be receptive to listen to what, the things they tell you. And like I said, how to be an effective leader, effective listening, things of that nature. So, everybody's not, I guess I'm the youngest of 4 boys. So I've always been, the leader type person in the family. So, So I've always had that type A personality.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? So they shy away from dealing with the people that are, the angry customers and things of that nature. So, and they haven't. They didn't mention it. Like I said, I talked to my coworkers, and some of them, like, they haven't. They also feel the same way. Like they, feel like they should be going to training for things of that nature.
Okay. Customer service. All right. So as far as I know it's going to pop up a few more times, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. So, sure, I'm going to read that comment in a second. So, what else as far as your platform? You mentioned customer service. What else can we expect from you as a clerk?
It's the same thing. I hear other people say about, and I could say this when it comes to, like, someone else said about Sherry not having an open door policy and her door is always closed. That's not true. The door is open. I don't know about them if they get to speak to her or not, but that she does have the door open. People can go talk to her, and I feel the same way. Having an open door policy, being transparent, whatever, things of that nature. But I don't, like I said, I without, because you can't really say too much about the job because I still work there. So, but like I said, basically, the customer service, that's what I really want to focus on, just that issue. Like I said, in training, you have to make sure the inside is better in order to be able to help the outside. And then actually I was talking, every time I go on Canvas and talk to people, and they also say the same thing. A gentleman told me the other day, we were talking about having customer experience surveys. He said, how many questions did you write? About 5 questions. He said, yeah, that would be great, because, he wants to hear, to be able to get feedback on how we're doing. Everybody just assumes, like I said, that everything is great. And you can't assume that in no organization, that everything is just great. Because, like I said, there's always room for improvement. So a customer satisfaction survey, you can have it out of the counter, and people can say how their experience went. Because we gauge on how many filings we do a day, or how, things of that nature, how much money we spend, but we don't gauge on how the customer service is. You just automatically assume it's good.
Okay. Now, I just want to be clear before I go to some of these comments. Mm-hmm. You said earlier that you thought the customer service was good. But now you're saying that it needs improvement.
I'm saying everything needs improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have nasty clerks. They're not evil, and like anything of that nature. But but like I'm saying, as far as it all goes back to the training aspect, because when you're sitting there, if they have some training before they get there, and I'm the only one, my supervisor, we only know certain things, and we're still trying to train people while we're still trying to work. It puts a lot of strain on you, whatever, when you're trying to do all of that. So, like I said, it's easier if sometimes they're trained before they get there, or, like I said, being if other people that's been there for a while or cross-trained and know other things, and not just the one thing that they do.
Interesting. Sherry, if you're still here, you work in the courthouse. Is there any reason why that isn't taking place? I'm just curious as far as cross training. Obviously, she has a lot of time as a clerk, so I'm curious why that hasn't been a thing yet. Let's get to some of these comments. Sonny, I know people work at the courthouse and there have been some mini classes. One of my friends said she takes a class every chance she gets. Sonny, what kind of classes?
Who is she?
Give me some, some courses, some information too as well. A link if you can provide that. Or actually, don't give me a link because I'm not gonna check that while we're moving. Give me some courses. We'll go from there. Let's see. Melissa Thompson, attitude when it comes to customers, obviously. Yep, for sure.
Attitude when it comes to customers.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing too as well.
Customers do have attitudes, but sometimes
no, not customer. Like the employee's attitude when it comes to customers.
Yeah, some of them. That's what I mean. You have to be receptive when you go to training and things like that, and people talking to you and telling you what you may have done wrong.
Remember this comment from Sherry. I can't hear and post at the same time, but the clerk's responsible for being familiar with the rules and statutes.
But that's her.
I want to finish your words first. We even sit on a committee for legislative and rules that are introduced and rule changes. This is the job of a clerk and chief DEP.
The chief deputy, but you asked about me and us, the lower clerks. You didn't ask about her and the deputy and the court manager. You asked about us when you said.
Oh, but everything I'm talking about is you as clerk.
Yeah, so me as the clerk in the position I'm in right now, we don't have to know.
Well, I'm talking as clerk as circuit court.
Yeah, the clerk of the circuit court. In her position, you do. But me being the position I'm in now, we don't have to know the rules and stations. We just process the paperwork. But I would have to learn that when I become the clerk of the court. Yes, I would have to know that.
Okay. Yeah, just clarity. Everything I'm talking about is for the job you're running for.
Yeah, so I would have to know that. Yes.
Okay. Have you started? Have you done any research into that, or how's that?
I put my name on the ballot April 15th, and I've been running ever since. So it's like, once this primary is over, then I could try focusing on that. But when I say literally every day, that's what I've been doing every day, trying to get out there, meeting people, and just canvassing and going to events and things of that nature. That's what I've been doing every day.
So I want to get back to that in a second. So as far as so the rules and statutes, you do plan on going through that, learning all that, but just not at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Wouldn't that tell you more about what the job entails?
Well,
and give you a better idea what you're doing that's running.
Sherry, she told me that's what she said to me. You have to know the rules and the laws of Maryland, and she told me that those are the only two things she mentioned to me when I spoke to her, when I told her I put my name on the ballot. She mentioned that, showed me her emails and like all the things she has to respond to. And then she told me about knowing the Maryland laws and rules, and that was it. I've never had other conversation with her about what else she does. That she said December 1st, that it would be a smooth transition for the next 30 days after that. And she would tell, what else it entails. I
expect Sherry to remain professional no matter who's elected. So I want to clean something up too as well. So Melissa Grant's comment, Sherry's your current supervisor. Do you believe that you're criticizing her right now, or you're just talking?
She's the one. She's on here saying stuff. No, I'm not criticizing her.
Okay,
I just want to say to her about it.
Yeah, I just want to. Obviously, I don't want anything to BNY to affect someone's job or livelihood. So
no.
Yeah, I got. Okay. So. Sherry is criticizing. Okay, there it is. Okay, that's what Melissa's talking about. Got you. Okay. All right. So recently you had you had a forum.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
It was me and two of my opponents, and the orphans court was there, and then Miss Hennessy was on the Zoom part of it. Yes. And they asked questions, and we had to introduce ourselves. I think we probably answered about 5 questions.
What kind of questions were they asking?
We introduced ourselves, and they asked us, what did they? Oh, they said the courtroom is kind of busy. I think they said it's like a lot going on, and what would you do? I don't remember all of them, but I can't remember. It was like, what would you do if I guess on how to try to calm people down. I think somehow it was, and then I basically just told them that I didn't work in the courtroom. But basically, I guess me dealing with guardianships, and a lot of people sometimes their family member dies, and I apologize, sorry for your loss or whatever, just try to calm them down so that they aren't upset. Basically, that's basically all it is. And I told them how if somebody's really upset, even if I didn't do anything wrong, most of the time, if they just want to hear, I'm sorry for what you're going through, I apologize, and you kind of just kind of bring the situation back down level. That's about it. So and then they asked about what would you want to, I think they asked about what would you want to change or something like that or not implement as far as customer service. I think somebody asked that, what are your plans as far as customer service? What else did they ask? It was quite a few questions, but it was basically geared toward you working there, basically. So that was about it. And then and I was basically explaining what I did in the office, I believe. I can't remember all the questions, but you'd actually, if you had pulled it up on the Facebook, I probably, but I don't remember all the questions. But yeah, it was interesting.
They didn't really get to the grit of the job or the day-to-day grind, anything of that sort. That seems pretty kind of vague as far as the form goes. Not a shot.
And they asked about what Pascal asked about. They asked about with the diversity in the office, and basically I was telling them, and it was basically as far as we have 2 Hispanic clerks in our office already, and then where they could find information, being able to go to the website, and that we had a legal library down in the basement, and that we have interpreters, and we have a language line that they can call. So it was questions of that nature. And that was it. Basically, it wasn't, I think we probably only answered about 5 questions, maybe 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. How's the, okay, let's stay away from that for a second. So as far as endorsements go, you've been working with Sherry. Has she endorsed you for the job? Or
No, well, I didn't. I put my name on
that was a question from earlier, too, as well.
I put my name on the ballot in April. My coworker put her name on the ballot in December. So it was before me. So I really can't say what she would have done if I put my name on it beforehand. So
coworker as in
Lisa Yates.
It was public knowledge. I'm just curious.
Lisa
Okay.
Yates.
Okay.
Yes.
How you doing, Lisa, if you're here too as well? Okay. All right. So just want to clear that up for that particular individual asking that question too as well. Alicia, I was at the forum. They didn't get into what the clerk of court duties were. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It didn't sound like they really didn't do much. Pascal, I don't believe Sherry has endorsed anyone. Well,
that's what was said at the
she's
forum.
here. She can answer it too as well.
That's what was said at the forum. So
as far as which, okay,
as that they were endorsed by Sherry Hancock.
It's Sherry Levy. Yes, there's going to be a new clerk of the circuit court. Yes, Mr.
Sherry's
Leftwich.
Retiring.
Yep. That's why we had a few, not a few, but we've been highlighting this race too on Charles County, or at least here in BNY. So 8 years in the circuit court. So we've talked about customer service. We talked about training too as well. Is there anything else you'd like to bring to the courts from your years of experience working in the Charles County Courthouse?
I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with my coworkers. They basically, I think we got a good group of people there now. Who was that?
Nah, keep going. Go on.
He said enough about this. So, I mean, I think the group we have now, we're pretty good. We're pretty solid together. We work well. So, I mean, because we've had other coworkers, and some people just felt like they didn't fit, and they went other places. But I think we got a pretty group of people to work with, and no, I wouldn't probably change anything as far as that. I mean, but like I said, what we keep coming back to is that's just the main focus I have. Without saying, like I said, I work there, so.
Well, let's talk about this. Is it, as far as hiring staff, is that your job?
Well, yes, to some it would be. So,
would you look to hire more staff, or are you adequately staffed right now?
In the building.
I'm sorry?
There's no room in the building. I think somebody told me that was in the works too. They were talking about, but they said it took about 20 years to get the district court building built. So, and they make changes in the courthouse here and there. And I guess to me it seems like put Band-Aids on stuff, but I don't know. They were talking about trying to find if they can put us somewhere else while they do the building over. But it's no room for anybody else to come in here. So I mean, it would be nice because the county's growing. As more people, as you get more people, everybody's gonna be crime or whatever things happen. People are gonna have to come to the courthouse. So it would be nice to have more people, but right now it's no room.
So no room means currently we're not hiring.
No seats, no bodies, nowhere to put anybody. So yeah, and we don't. And they probably will hire when people leave. So if I got the position, or at least got they'll fill our position. You know, that's about it. But it's no room to actually put bodies in there now.
So if someone, all right, so let's say their position opens up. You're a clerk of the circuit court. One of your department heads open up. What exactly are you looking for in an individual? What kind of skill set, education, things of that sort?
Well, I mean, that's through the HR makes the thing. So all they do is, like I said, high school diploma. So that's all they require.
So you don't do that. You won't do the interview process and none of that.
Well, I will leave that to the supervisors. So unless they're becoming to be a supervisor or a court manager above, that's when I feel like I would want to involve myself. But just the regular clerk in the position I'm in now, I feel like that's the supervisor. If they feel like they're the right fit for their department, then I would let them do the hiring.
What about telework? Is that a big thing in the courthouse?
No, we don't telework. So, and
is it possible? Like, can it happen, or do people need to be there to get the job done?
To actually talk to people in person, yeah. I mean,
do you need everybody there?
And talk on the phone to people, So, but I mean,
is it? I'm asking. Is every single job face to face? And if it's not, do they need to be there? Can they split time from courthouse and home?
I wish we could have did it. I mean, I wanted to do it. Well, we did it for COVID for a little while.
How'd that work out?
But people had to use their own computers, and they gave computers to some people, if they needed them. But we had to use our own computers and things of that nature. But I mean, we had like 6 days on. I think it's 6 days off. So we broke up in a couple of groups, and so. But some people had we have internet issues or things of that nature. So some people could do work, some of them couldn't. So.
Well, I mean, that's something that could be fixed, but was it efficient? Did it work? Were you able to work on paperwork too as well on the outside the courthouse?
No, we don't have. It's all electronic, so I mean, you
well,
can
paperwork.
You can go on a computer and do it. Yeah, so it wasn't any paper. I didn't have any issues, so I was able to do my work. I mean, I don't know as far as what other clerks were able to do, but I didn't have a problem with the internet access and even do the work. So
now we're talking your own computers. We're talking about the work computers, correct?
No.
You're talking your own computer, your own personal computer. Courthouse documents, personal computer. Seems a little strange. Is that really how the job got done?
Yep.
No security measures, nothing. I mean, that's some very sensitive information just to have on somebody's MacBook.
Well, I think it's like they gave you like a link type of thing. It wasn't you actually, because you can't get access to the network, however they did it, but it was actually what they called it. But yeah, you were actually able to access it a different way. So yeah, but it was on your own computer. So, and if some people like me, they gave me, once my husband's computer broke, I couldn't use it anymore. So they actually gave me a laptop to use. So only a few of us got laptops, yes.
So a few people actually got work laptops.
A few, but not everyone.
And everyone else had to. There's a comment here, Antonia. Antonia, how you doing? It was like pretty much like a VPN, so you had to use the link, and then it went to a secure site and it was work for them.
For us to work, yeah.
Well, do you think that's something that could be approved?
What, for people to telework?
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking computers home, I mean, COVID showed you can do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some employees that'd be down with that too, as well, as far as staff, if possible.
I think that was like an HR thing, and I think when I read some of it, I think it said, I don't know if the clerk had to approve it or depending on the circumstances, but I think that was an HR thing too. So that's something that we probably would have to work with them, but I don't think we could just do it on our own totally.
Okay. Yep, and Nicole, yeah, a lot of agencies weren't prepared for the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, hell, I'm not gonna say anything, but she's absolutely right. I've seen it firsthand too as well. But I'm curious now that we kind of know how the system works. I mean, I know Judge Brown was talking about, Zoom as far as that being an option too, as well as far as court cases. Yeah. So that could be a thing. I'm not sure why the courthouse itself couldn't run, as far as, I mean, you talk about itself too as well. It's too many too many people in there already. So I mean, a telework option. I'm not sure if that can be a thing that can actually work or not, especially here in this day and age.
I would love to telework. So.
Okay. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Let's scroll up. Pascal, get bowling on it. Hey, broadband, baby.
You said get bowling on it.
Oh, he'll be here next week too as well. Zach, you had a question earlier. I'm not going to scroll all the way back up there, but I didn't forget. If you could, if you remember, can you type that again for me? I'll go ahead and read it now. Oh, hold on one second, Robin. Hold on 1 second. You're good. I'm just scrolling through. I'm doing what I do. I'm not going to worry about that. And asking that one. Okay. All right. So too much more responsibilities of the job. What else is the clerk responsible for as far as the courthouse goes?
The Sherry's position?
Well, it'll be your position if you win.
Yeah. I mean, I see her go to a lot of meetings and she'll come back with emails of things they may have discussed, but I can't, tell y'all all of that. So, I mean, that's like private information, what she talks about. But that's basically, like you said, she goes to meetings in Annapolis. They discuss things and she'll come back and provide us with emails sometimes about what, if it pertains to us and what she's discussed. So she goes to meetings, she responds to emails. She, like I said, she has to follow all the rules. So if there's issues when people, I guess they have a problem and a lot of people ask to speak to her if they don't want to speak to.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Oh,
yeah.
So then she'll take, I guess, phone calls. I mean, I don't know if they talk to the secretary, get to her or whatever, because I'm not in the office, so I don't know. But she takes phone calls if people want to speak to her, and then they write letters to her about the clerks, and she responds to them and things of that nature. But like I said, it's actually as far as being up there with her and knowing everything else she does, no. Yeah.
So I didn't.
And then she actually does the budget too. So yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna get to that in a second. But the clerk of Charles County Circuit Court, I know they had a role there playing. I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert. I just run a podcast locally. So clerk going to Annapolis, that's information that's somewhat new to me too as well. So what kind of meetings? Who are they? Who are there? Are they going by themselves? Is there anyone else taking a team up there, or how does that work?
I think Joyce is gone before. She's our deputy, the deputy clerk. So she'll go with her.
Where are they going to speaking on or meeting on?
They go
I know you can't say like specifics,
I mean, I don't know because she doesn't tell us what meeting she goes for. I mean, if we say, oh, is Sherry here today? They're like, oh, she had to go to Annapolis for a meeting and things of that nature. So it's not like she's telling us when she's going or, and what she's going for. So, but.
You never asked her?
No. In the 8 years I've been there, no. So, nope, she doesn't.
I'm not saying there's nothing nefarious, but I'm just curious, like, what, just why? Just for the knowledge base and the viewers, too, as well.
No, I haven't.
Sure, I might read your comment here in a second. Okay, so this is for everyone that was asking questions about endorsement, this, and the third. Sherry says her family, they're supporting Lisa as clerk of her 19 years of service and 20 years of EMS, I believe, volunteer work. Robin does a nice job in the civil office, but that's just a small portion of the clerk's duties. Lisa's job has impacted every business owner, landowner, and couple. So I've endorsed who she feels is the most qualified as far as years of service.
Her years of service, yes. But I guess I have a very diverse background. I've done budget, finance, banking, customer service. I've held multiple positions where I've done different things, not just worked in one department. So.
You work budget in your department too as well.
No, I'm saying no. When I worked at the first student department defense. So yeah, not there.
Okay, so we could translate this too as well. So Sherry deals with budget, is what you were saying here too as well.
Yeah.
You've dealt with budget in the past. What kind of budget is she dealing with? What is the details of that?
So the only thing I've seen that made public is the amount of money that the judiciary has, but doesn't seem like what's put down to each clerk, what's given to each clerk's office. And I did ask that question of our person that does the finance, and she told me she wasn't going to tell me. She told me I need to ask Sherry. So I don't know what we get as an individual court office, but basically deciding what the needs of the office are, and you write that up in a budget, and you request the money. And if they, they'll give you whatever amount of money they can afford to give. And basically, I think what I was told is one part of the budget is supplies. So we have a government purchase card, and our finance person makes those purchases.
Okay, I mean that'd be your job to
they oversee it, yeah, and do the budget, but I won't do the actual. I think our finance person does the actual paperwork part of it. Yeah, she does that part.
How large is the budget?
I just told you I don't
You said
know.
as far as numbers, you don't know.
Not what we get. No, I don't know. I guess
Okay.
I'll know that once. If I'm elected, they'll tell me that. But no.
So obviously, you and Sherry have a pretty decent relationship. Just looking at the comments back and forth. Obviously, there's some disagreements, but that's natural. Have you, Meg, if you know it, drop it in there. If have you talked to her a lot about the job and what you could expect with it?
No, and I don't, and like I said, I know she's endorsing Lisa. So and people,
Yeah,
are
but I think
like,
she'll
and
still
they'll
tell
say
you.
to me, yeah. I probably should go talk to her or whatever, but people were saying, she's endorsing Lisa, and I was just like, oh, would she tell me or wouldn't she tell me? I don't know, but yeah, I should go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the job you're running for. That's why I'm
Yeah.
curious about. Okay. Sherry, first of all, thank you, Sherry, for clarifying that for everybody too as well. Definitely good to have someone sitting on the in the seat, talking with the people too as well, which we will have next week. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. All right. So, Diary, what's going on? How you doing? So she kind of asked the same question I was talking about earlier as far as a telework policy. I guess she wants a little more information on it. I don't know if you caught. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that that conversation, Diary, but if you just wanted to sum it up a little bit, we talked a little about telework, so just answer a question.
That was a discussion like with HR, so that's not like a actual clerk's office policy. So that's all written up in the HR handbook policy about telework and things of that nature.
Okay, so we've already talked about your platform. Well, not everything with your platform, but we talked about customer service. We talked about training too as well. What else can we expect from Robin as the clerk of the court? Obviously, it's a lot more things you're doing within your department, but it's a job you feel you're ready for. What else do you expect to take on? What else have you seen that for us, the voters, that we don't know that the job actually entails? What's up, Kelly?
Basically just being the clerk of the court, I feel like, and actually saying this, and even talking about, like, I think I've spoken to people about with as far as hiring and what I want to do. Like I said, we have our deputy there. She'll actually be there to like help assist after Sherry's gone or whatever, and tell me, other things that, because like I said, I don't know everything that they do. But I feel like I'm ready for it. Like I said, I've done budget, everything. I'm customer service driven. Every position I've held has done all of that. And basically, like I said, trying to be more knowledgeable. Like I said, because I know the job I'm in, but I want to learn every aspect. So when I get a phone call, I know what I'm talking about. So I want to know what they do over in land and license, what Lisa does in criminal, juvenile. I mean, I basically already know what they do in the courtroom, but I've never sat. I think I sat in the courtroom one time when I thought about applying for the position over there when I did apply. But I want to know all of that. I want in jury. I want to be able to sit there, like I said, and know every aspect of every job that's what the clerk is in charge of.
Now you're in the courthouse every day. Zach, I'm coming to you next. Can you just walk from department to department and ask and talk to people about their jobs?
I don't have time for that. So yeah, because it's busy, so it's not like I could sit over there for an hour or two and say, hey, show me what you do. Even like a
shadow for like an hour or two as well?
No, there's no time for that because I got my own work to do. So yeah.
Okay. All right, Zach, thank you for asking that question again. I definitely appreciate it. Zach Ball, school board, also friend of BNY podcast too as well. What's the benefit of having this be an elected position versus normally a hired position through county government?
What's the difference?
Yeah, so basically, why is this not in a position that's appointed or someone interviews for?
That's what I said. So I'm wondering the same thing. I felt like it should be something you apply for, because we don't make any policies. We're not changing any rules and laws of the state of Maryland. So I couldn't tell you, but I felt the same way.
There's that meeting in Annapolis thing too as well that somebody
said, I've heard somebody say that they were talking about trying to change that, I believe, but
Change what, the clerk?
No, trying to make it not be elected. Somebody
That's,
said
yeah,
that
that's
to
what I
me in the
mean. Yeah.
courthouse. Yeah. So yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna come into fruition. But
Really?
I heard it. Yeah.
Where'd you hear that from?
Somebody at work. They was talking about it. So I heard them say it, but I don't know if it's gonna be true.
Yeah, I don't really have a dog in that fight. Obviously, I mean, a knowledgeable individual, working the job is what everybody wants. And obviously, it's an elected position, so we're here to let the
people talking about
let the people decide.
volunteering. Let me tell you this. My situation, my life situation is
Oh,
different.
say go back.
Okay.
People start talking about what now? Which question?
When I'm reading about, I don't know who has said it about volunteering. Well, let me say this. No, I don't volunteer at the fire department. I saw them say that. But my life situation is different from other people's situations. I came here with me and my husband and our family came here together. We came here alone. We don't have any family here. So my life situation was around my children. So my volunteering was school events, sports, football. They played football. My son did taekwondo. That was my volunteering. So now that my youngest is 15, so now I'm trying to focus on things that I would like to do and want to volunteer for, find out what my interests are, because my interests have always revolved around my children. So, so that's the difference on where the volunteering came. It's always been volunteering for them, so.
And those things also between all the candidates, it's nice, it's cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good to see community building, but I don't think that makes anyone more or less qualified for a job.
That's what I say.
Yeah, it gives you kind of like that whole person, what's the word I'm looking for? Completion, but it doesn't make you,
Yes.
Yeah,
more or less qualified.
Yeah. Okay, Sherry. So separation of duties and checks and balances as far as the work and the meetings in Annapolis. Okay, separation of duties and church. Wait, no. I don't think that's the question I'm looking for. I think that's what I'm looking for. Separation of duties and checks and balances. Okay. All right. So question from Kelly. Yeah, there we go. All right, when we're going to have technology, maybe we already do. You can answer this. When we're going to have technology in place to view docket entries electronically without having to be an attorney or a party to see the case. I'm not talking about the kiosks at the courthouse. Many states have the ability to view electronic documents that are filed in the case. Not sure why we don't.
And that's not the clerk. That's JIS, AOC. I mean, that's not the clerk's job or position to say. I mean, we can ask. I mean, you can go and fight and go up there and ask questions. I mean, anybody should be able to go up there and talk about it, but I don't believe that that's something that the clerk has the overall say of, because they make that JIS does that and AOC, so Administrative Office of the Courts. So they're the ones that came up with the system and all the things of that nature. So I'm pretty sure that's the rule. The attorneys can see the case, or if you're a party to it, if you want to see it, you come to the kiosk. And then they have a form or something people fill out if they want to have access to see it. And Sherry has to sign. Sherry signs off on it. But that's it. Or if some cases are sealed, you have to be party to it, or you have to ask judge for permission to see certain things. So, yeah, I mean, that I don't think we have too much to say about. That's down there in AOC.
But that electric portion right there, as far as
electronic,
the docket, all that, the clerk has nothing to do with that.
Not as far as saying somebody having another way to see cases. No, they make that rule. People, if you're a party to the case, you can see it. If you're an attorney, you can see it.
So let me ask you this: I file paperwork with your department. I come back a month later. I want to see the paperwork.
You can see it. Well, if it's an electronic, but you can see it on the kiosk. Yeah, you don't think you can access it from home and just do electronic filings, but yeah, you have to be a party to the case. So you can come in and see it in the kiosk, but we don't have, after a certain amount of months, paperwork is shredded. So but if it's on a computer, you can see it because we scan it all. So
how many kiosks do you have?
Just one.
Is it? It's not gonna be a very long line for that.
Well, not really. It's not a lot of people that come in and actually see the stuff on a kiosk. Yeah, so, but it's one kiosk. Yes.
Really? Okay. All right. I guess, it depends. Depends on what they're there for.
Yeah.
They're filing paperwork. They can't file at a kiosk.
No, they're filing it over there with us.
Would you be for that? Something of that process?
What I'll do what?
Like an electronic filing, if that's possible?
Electronic filing?
Yeah, like I have paperwork. I can file electronically, leave out, meet nobody if I wanted to. I don't know if that's the thing or not. I'm just kind of asking. From my own
you
ignorance.
mean being able to not electronically file it at home? 'Cause you
No,
can
no,
electronically file it.
like I go to McDonald's, I put in the order, I
Oh,
talk
you
to
mean having a
nobody,
kiosk and
I
being
leave
able to
out.
make your order,
Yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, you'd have to have a scan. You have to be able to scan it because it has to be uploaded. So you'd have to have
Scan
a
it
way
to a
to do all of
kiosk.
that. But yeah,
I'm just curious.
I mean, I guess it would be cool. But like I said, having one kiosk, if you did that for, then it probably would be a long line. So yeah, it had to be somewhere to put all of that because right now it's in one small spot over there, in the corner out in the lobby area. But yeah, you'd have to have the room to have multiple kiosks.
How old can I be to work at the courthouse?
I think it'd be 18.
18? Okay. There's a question here about, I think it was a Cole asking about
Gotta be a high school
hiring
graduate.
practices. Yeah, things of that sort, staff. What are your, I know we kind of answers to as well, but I just want to go back full circle before I get to some of these comments too as well. As far as hiring, what have you seen as far as the courthouse goes? Question from Nicole from earlier.
There's family members there. I mean, hey. So, I feel like I wouldn't want to be a part of the process. I just want to leave that up to the supervisors to do the hiring.
And you would be essentially the supervisor.
Yeah. So
you wouldn't want to say
if I came in there and
in the
applied for a
process?
job like I did, I would just want it to be the supervisor's decision on who they hire. If they felt like that you were a right fit or you had the qualifications for the office, then they do the hiring. I only want to hire supervisors or the court manager or the deputy. That's the part that I would want to be a part of. I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to have a part of hiring everybody else. I would leave that up to them.
Kelly, yes, you could file electronically. See, I was curious about that. I don't. The executive team at accounting makes that decision. Sherry, okay.
Yeah, I already said you could file electronically, but you have to continue to do it if you want to file electronically. But only attorneys are required to file. They have to file electronically. So, but if you're a pro se litigant and not represented by an attorney, you can file electronically if you want to. But once you do it, you have to continuously do it.
How's the campaign going so far? What have you've been knocking on some doors out here? What kind of response or feedback you've gotten?
Positive feedback because everybody says they focus on customer service too. So I mean, everybody says, you got my vote. You're the only one that's been knocking on doors in my neighborhood. Me and Nicole, like I said, we go out like 3 times a week or more. So we're out every day, and I was just out today. So what you reading?
So what kind of conversations what kind of experiences have the citizens ran into at the courthouse they've been telling you about? What kind of improvements have they wanted to see?
Well, they don't even. Some people have said they never even been to the cross, but they just like going places where customer service is the top priority. So I've gone into the 50 and over community. I've gone into other neighbors, mostly in District 3 with Nicole, because that's where she runs in District 3. So I've gone to in houses in my neighborhood. So, but mostly been in District 3, and they're basically just basically because I said I wanted to focus on customer service. If that's the thing that they are concerned with, everybody wants great customer service. So.
Zebby, what's going on? Okay, so she wants a little more clarity, and I'm all for this too as well. Getting back to this point, so provide input to would you provide input to the supervisor on the candidate you're looking for?
Would I provide input to the supervisor on the candidate I'm looking for? Like I said, they have the requirements, they experience customer service background as far as jobs and all, because we're an administrative office. So if you have some type of administrative experience, then basically that's all you need: administrative experience, customer service background, high school diploma. You don't need a whole lot, but I mean, as far as them choosing who they want and me not having an input in that. So I'm not gonna say hire my cousin, brother, sister, you hire who you want to hire, and it's just that simple. And
you just complained about family being hired.
I will take care of my supervisor positions or higher level positions, and they hire who they want to hire.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is that you just mentioned that there's a lot of family being hired in there. So essentially, you'll let your supervisors kind of pick what they want to with kind of like a guide.
HR, whoever applies, HR sends the applications up, and they look through and see who they want to interview.
And you have some say in that too as well.
No, I don't want to start saying who they interviewed because I don't want it to be said hired whoever. Like I said, if somebody I knew even came there and applied, I don't even want to say I know the person. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say anything. I want them to decide who they want to hire for their section.
Okay. Let's see, Angela. People come to the courthouse to file without representation. Often need guidance on how to properly file. A kiosk can provide that. That's true. I was just curious about the whole kiosk thing too, as well.
What did she say?
As far as people that need help, they're not gonna go to the kiosk first. They'll want a person, which absolutely is true too, as well.
And we have the people that's for them to go to the kiosk and see the paperwork. But as far as needing help, if we can't help them, like with certain issues, like I said, we can't provide legal advice, so they'll go down to we have a phone number for them to call for the Maryland Legal Helpline, and then we have an attorney that also offers assistance to Charles County residents, and we have the law library downstairs in the basement.
So Melissa says that you've educated the community about MDEC for a long time.
What did she say? I have, as you said. That's what she said. I mean, what is your question there?
No,
Robin has educated. Oh yes, I'm there for a long time. That's electronic filing. Yeah, so I've actually put it on my website too on how they can file. Well, not on my website, on my campaign page.
Mm-hmm.
I did a did you know type of thing, letting them know how they can file and register for electronic filing. Things of that nature.
Quickly, talk about some points on that too as well.
No, I did like I said, I just did a did you know. I only had a chance to do one, so I let them know how they can go on our website and where they can how they can file electronic filing, and if they want it, well, how to do a filing anyway, and if they want to do electronic filing, that they can register. It kind of guided them to each page, and and how they could do that. And there was pretty good response. Everybody put it on all the different sites, people's pages, Charles County Matters and all that, things of that nature. So they'll know how to go about it.
Okay. Mink, yeah, Sherry did already answer that question earlier, and probably about 15, 20 minutes ago. We already read that one. So, all right. So we talked campaign. Let's talk election. So tomorrow is day one. How you feeling?
Fine.
Day one for early voting.
Just need some volunteers.
Which, yeah. So how does that work as far as volunteers go? Pascal, I'm coming back full circle.
I got my husband when he's off, me, a couple of friends, people have, that I've met along the way, asked if they would volunteer. But, you just need more because I'm not just put to one polling station. So I have multiple. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so tomorrow when it starts, it's only 3 polling stations. But once actual election starts, it's about 30. So, yeah, it's a lot of polling stations to be at. So when I leave, I'm going to be jumping from polling station to polling station.
Oh, it's going to be a hell of a day for you.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I sit in this chair and I'm not on the other side. So.
Yeah. So I'll be all over the place. Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Sherry. We have a self-help center that is staffed by an attorney full time. The soft opening was this week. So what's going on with that?
They're supposed to be there in the building. Well, we used to have somebody that would be there. I think it was a couple of days a week, but then that because of COVID, it stopped, and they were just doing phone calls. I guess they were still working in their office or home or whatever, but now they're putting it back in place. So yeah, so then we'll have an attorney there to be able to answer questions all the time.
Is it just one attorney?
I don't know how many are there. We just got information that they were gonna be open again. So I don't know how many they're gonna have yet.
How's it work? You just walk up and ask a lawyer a question?
So when they used to do it, you go in there. They had a room, like a little conference room downstairs. You walk in. You had to do it before a certain time because they would shut down close to a certain time that they were closing. And then you would go in the room and talk to the attorney. And you had to sign up, to be able to talk to them. And when it shut off, that was it. You just have to come back the next day they had it or whatever. But yeah, that's how it went.
How does that work? How much time do you have for this individual? Do you like schedule times, 15-minute blocks? Can you get an hour?
I think they
Is it free?
Talk to them. Yeah, it's free. So I think they talk to them about 30 minutes. But they just ask a question. So you call them. Like now you call them. I think she does it Monday. I think it was Monday through Thursday. And it was until 2 o'clock. And you just called them and asked them all the questions you needed. And then I had one actually call. The attorney called for the person and was trying to get them help because they needed assistance. And they actually called for them. and spoke to me, and and got help. So I had to call down to the magistrates and offer assistance, help them, with the problem they were having. But yeah, that was the first time I actually had the attorney call about something she done with the self-help line, helping the people. But yeah, so she actually gave them some good advice, called in there for them because they were having trouble. So she helped them out. But that's what she does. She'll help them till about 2:00, I believe it is. So, and I think they take the last phone call at like 1:30, I believe. Close to 2:00, so that'll be the last one. So they have that 30 minutes, and then it was over with.
I'm going to ask this question. All right. So obviously here at BNY, was one thing I've always loved to do, and this is no pressure to anybody, but I'd love to have two candidates to sit here and engage in a realm of ideas of why they feel like one would be better for the position than the other. Would you, I know you did a forum, would you actually sit down and debate a candidate for the position of clerk?
What are we going to debate about? You don't work there. So, I mean, you've already stated you don't work there. So, and I think the conversation we already had, and everybody else knows, people were saying, like Robin said, so what are we talking about?
That's it. That's all I'm going to ask about it.
Okay.
Amber, don't entertain.
Okay.
I read the comments in the comment section to a certain point, but I know it's a question that was asked, and the man's been on the podcast too as well, so I have no problem. Can I call in? No, we're not doing all that. We're not doing all that tonight. That'd be the same thing as no, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. Okay. All right. So tell me this. I'm an undecided voter. I don't know who to vote for. I'm looking at the clerk ballot. I see your name on there. Why should I vote Robin Rutledge?
So everybody I meet, I let them know how long I've worked at the clerk's office, and that I've also worked at Prince George's County. And I have 36 years of experience in customer service, banking, budget, and finance. I have a very diverse background. I have my bachelor's degree in human resources management. So I have the education and the knowledge. I let them know all of that. And then I let them know what it is I would like to implement if I'm elected. So, and basically me telling them that I have the education and the knowledge. A lot of people have also said they want people that have education, So, and to me, it just says that you're able to learn. That's what basically having a degree is, that you have the ability to learn and things of that nature. But that's what I tell them. I let them know about me and the things that I want to do and my background, and they like what they hear. And then, like I said, and also other people I've met, they always say that I have this bubbly, approachable attitude. So I'm like always smiling, always happy, So I'm very approachable. I don't have a problem helping anybody or doing anything. So that's just me. So, and we give these 3 words, but I think I'm a little bit more than the 3 words, they be put on your cards and try to tell people about yourself. Like I said, I'm just a lot. Like I said, I'm a friend, I'm knowledgeable, I have education, I have the background, I'm a dedicated employee, I'm committed to this, and that's just it. It's just me.
Okay. All right. I'm curious how this race is going to go. This has been one of the surprisingly one of the more entertaining ones.
Really?
Yeah, my time here. It's just.
Why do you say that?
It's just interesting to see. For a race that looks like clerk, and it's like it's actually a lot more to this. So, yeah, definitely of interest to me to see this whole thing through.
Me too.
But no, I thank you. I thank you very much. What's next for you? Can we find you somewhere?
At the polls. You can find me at. So
no events in between?
From tomorrow? No, at the polls. Oh, I'm probably going to have an event. Oh, I'm planning on doing something on the 30th after the election. So, yeah. So, well, no matter how it turns out, it's going to be a celebration. So, for everybody to come out and hang out with me. So, yeah.
We doing a cookout? What's going on here?
No, it's going to be at my rec center again. So.
You say your rec center?
Yeah, my community center.
You have a community center?
Yeah.
Like you own a community center?
No, I don't own a community center.
Oh.
Where I live. I'm like,
hey, I'm saying.
my community. No, where I live. No, in the community center where I live. Yes.
Okay. So. Pascal said we find you at the court. Hey, there.
That's right, Pascal.
Yeah, Party Robbins. Yeah, I'm in there.
Her
Yeah.
and Tanya. Who is Tanya?
I have no idea, but Tanya. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tanya
Yeah,
Henderson?
yeah.
Oh, she live in my neighborhood?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't either. I guess he knows where everybody lives. So.
I got nothing to do with it. No, but thank you very much for coming on the podcast too as well. I definitely appreciate it.
Well, yeah, you are so welcome.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah.
to be here. Now I gotta go get back to work.
Are you knocking on doors again tonight?
No, I gotta go make sure my signs are out. I told you I was before I got here. I was out at Sacred Heart putting signs out. So yeah, gotta finish up, make sure the rest of them are out. So and then gotta go to sleep. So I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Got see Sherry tomorrow.
Yeah, gotta go to work.
All right, Pascal, if you were able to help us at the polls on July 19th to elect, my girl Shauna, friend of the podcast, absolutely,
Yeah,
Charles
I know
County Board of
Shauna.
Education
Yep.
at large. Please fill out this Google form. Thank you so much. Let's help win this election. That's announced before right there. Take a look at that form. And look, anyone being a part of the political process, I'm all for working as an election judge or,
Yeah.
helping your team at the posting
Everybody
team.
needs
So.
help. I mean, I had somebody else offer to help me out. They're helping another candidate, and they were like, if you need help, let me know. So I'm gonna go drop my stuff off to her when I leave here. So some people are offering, so that's cool.
So BNY announcements too as well. Let me scroll down real quick.
Oh, Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Real name was Tanya.
I'm not. This case search is like this thing's becoming like a tool for everyone to
I
use.
don't have anything on case search.
I can look me up too as well. I'm not on there.
And I don't need 90 days. So, so we good.
So tomorrow we got Miss Thomas coming here, Board of Education. She'll be on here with me too as well. Looking very forward to that one. Then we're taking about 5-6 days off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't search myself. We want to find out your San Francisco time, Pascal. We ain't forget. Next week we got Commissioner Collins and Commissioner Boland on too as well. Yeah. That should be a very, very, very fun podcast. So get some of the county leadership sitting down and having a conversation with us and the people. So yeah. So that's it for that. We'll be live tomorrow, 8 p.m. Go live about 5 prior, and then go from there.
It's already 8:30. What time is it?
About 8:10, something like that.
Wow, this went by quick.
Time traveling at BNY. Yeah.
This went by quick. Okay. Let's get it, my boo.
Love to see it. So that's it. We'll Charles County. We'll see you here tomorrow too as well, live at BNY. Robin, appreciate you as always.
You are so welcome, and thanks
Absolutely.
for having me on. I appreciate it. And and I'll see you next time, hopefully. Somewhere else.
On the 30th at a community center with a plate in my hand.
That's right. Come
Let's
on
get
out
out of
and
here.
eat. You all welcome.
What's going on with you?
Yo, another day in the lab, baby. So it's always a good day.
Oh,
It's always a good day when we in the lab. You want policing to be better in your communities? The best policing that you can that can happen in any community are people that's actually from the community and that.
Once again, Rick, host BNY podcast, now known as What Effing Week with BNY Dev. How you feeling, man?
I'm in here.
What's good, comment section?
Here.
Do we drag our people down when sometimes they don't deserve it? For sure, absolutely. In this situation, this man deserves every single dragging that we can do because this is not an example of us.
But you got the angles. You got the knowledge of the game, bro.
This is where you're getting at the IQ.
Down. Like he's telling you what's going on. He was a bad husband. He was just doing things his way. He's apologizing to his wife, like, yo.
Pat ourselves on the back for that one because we ain't give yourself awards. I mean, who is?
Yeah, no boy.
Hey.